Alright guys, I am at Doghouse Poker. A few of my friends have told me to come up here. I also know some of the guys that work here. They told me to come up here and check it out. Heard it was good action. Granted, it is a Wednesday at 4:30 in the afternoon, so I don't know how the action's going to be today. Probably should come on Friday, something like that, something not in the middle of the day. But anyways, this is where I'm at. We will see what happens. Hopefully it goes well. Keep our fingers crossed, and I'll see you guys on the felt.
Alright guys, this is our first hand at the Doghouse. Look down and see Ace 3 of Hearts. It is a 1-2 game, but the bring in is 5. So you cannot limp for $2. If you want to limp, the minimum limp is $5. With that being said, everyone kind of limps around. You know, it feels weird saying they limp, but we're going 6 ways to the flop. They brought in for 5, and yeah, that's what we're doing here. Flop isn't too bad. Comes out King 9 Deuce with 2 hearts. So we flop the nut flush draw. Big blind bets 15, under the gun calls, and I don't see any point in raising, so I just make the call and see what develops on the turn. Hopefully we can hit our flush. Turn comes 4 of spades, bringing in a backdoor flush, but also bringing in a straight draw for us. So not only do we have the nut flush draw, but we have a straight draw as well. Big blind bets $40, under the gun thinks about for a while, and with this card, I just think there's no way I can fold quite yet. You know, I got to see another card. We have way too much equity, way too much of a draw to be able to fold quite yet. So for $40 more, I'm definitely going to make this call and see what the river card is. Hopefully it is a 5 or a heart, and we can win a big pot starting off. Unfortunately, it's not. It's the 3 of spades, and we brick everything. I mean, I guess we have a pair, but I'm not going to call his $100 bet that he makes with just a pair of 3s. So I lay this one down and lose $155 pot starting off. On to the next hand. Alright guys, no big deal, no big deal. We missed a draw, look down on the button, see a Jack 10 offsuit. Hey, you know, that's 2 Broadway cards. That's a good hand. Hijack raises it up to $20. I make the call. Middle position wants to stick around, decides to make the call as well. And then it gets to the low jack, and he makes the call also. So we will be going 4 ways to this flop. And by the way, guys, if you haven't made it to Doghouse, it's an awesome card club. Like, this is my first time here, and I'm loving it. It's great people, good food. Flop comes out, by the way, Jack 8-10. Flop top 2 pair. That's right, boys. We're going to make up for all the money we lost on the last hand. Checks around to me. I bet 50, seems like a good number. There's 80 in the pot, seems reasonable. Plus I have position, I may be bluffing, you never know. Could get called light, could be called by all kind of things. Flush draws, 9, you know, like queen 9. Well, that's a straight, hopefully it doesn't call us. Anyways, you get what I'm saying. We get 1 caller, and the boom, 9 of clubs comes on the turn. Check, check, hey, at least it won a spade. Fuck, fuck, okay. Ace of spades on the river. We're beating nothing. Check, check, and he whips over his cards, letting us know he has a straight. I let him know he's good. Flop top 2, doesn't hold. On to the next hand. All right. So we had a little bit of run bad. You know, it's not the end of the world. It happens, but we look down at pocket kings, and this is where we're going to turn it around. That's right. We're in the cutoff of pocket kings. Better than that, low jack raises to 15. So I get to raise to 40. Now, first and foremost, I think this raise sizing's bad. I think I should have raised for more, but I only have like $95 behind. I have a weird stack size is basically what I'm saying because of the 2 previous hands. I think raising to like 55 here would be better than the 40 I did. But once again, then it leaves my stack size really weird if I do an extra 15 on top. Then I'm at like, you know, $80, and there's, yeah, it's just kind of weird. Anyways, low jack calls, and we go heads up to the flop, which is deuce 8-4. I do not see an ace on there. That is good enough for me. I am going to be going all in with my pocket kings. And he snap calls, and he whips over his cards. He has a set of deuces. I ask him if he wants to go twice. Normally I leave it up to him, but I was like, please just go twice. I don't want to lose my first bullet already. He was nice enough to say yes. We break the top, and then boink, the Dream King on the bottom. So we chop it up. We're not getting stacked yet. Thank you to him. Super nice guy. Yeah, I forgot his name, but he was super cool, super chill. I will be going up to this place a lot, so I'm sure I'll see him in the future. Thank you very much. If you remember this hand and you remember who you are, I do appreciate it. You're a cool guy, awesome guy, straight up guy. Anyways, I just want to say thank you because he let me bink a 2-outer on him. And, you know, that's mean, but that's poker. And we still got chips. That's all that matters. On to the next hand. All right, I guess I can't complain about running bad for a little bit because I got a 2-outer. So, anyways, we look down, we see pocket eights, per usual. I'm just going to limp right now. Okay, my stack is hurting. I have about $70 behind after I call this. We do get a few callers here. We're going about 5 ways to this flop, boys. And I have $70 behind. Yep. It's been rough for ya, boy. No big pots, really. Just kind of had to pay to see some flops. Folded when I didn't hit. But not on this flop. 7, 8, 9 with 2 diamonds. We flop middle set with the 8 of diamonds to go with it. Under the gun, bets $10. I announce I am going all in for 69, not 70. I lied to you, boys. 69 is the bet. Hee hee. Okay, anyways. I'm a giant child. I know. Just tune out. You don't have to watch, all right? Don't you judge me. This is where it gets weird. The button thought she was calling $10, so she threw in $10, and then she realized that I had gone all in for 69. So she goes to fold, and the dealer, because if you put money in the pot to call, whatever you put in the pot stays in the pot. So the dealer said, you can't have the 10 back. That's in the pot. You cannot get it back. Now it's your action. Do you want to call the remainder, or do you want to fold? And she ended up folding, so that sucks for her. I hate that. The other guy, the original player who raised, ended up calling me, and that's the same person that had the set of deuces. We decide we're going to go twice. There's $175 in the pot thanks to that nice lady with the extra 10. Sorry, we've all been there. I let him know I have a set of 8s. He says he is drawing dead to runner. He just had top pair, and on a draw heavy board, he figured he would call because I don't have a set of 8s here all the time. I have a lot of draws. Unfortunately for him, I did have it, and I end up scooping. 175 coming our way. Don't call it a comeback, boys. Don't you do it. Don't you call it that. All right, guys. Next hand, we look down and see pocket 5s. There's a $10 button straddle. I just realized I'm under the gun. I make the call. I think I'm just calling for 5. I don't realize there's a button straddle. Anyways, so this is a 1-2 game, bring in for 5. So it's essentially a 2-5 game, the more I think about it. Dealer lets me know that it's in fact $10, not 5. So I, put another $5 because I'm not going to look like a fool. We get a few callers. I don't remember how many there are, probably 5 or something like that. And we are going to a flop. Flop comes out, not the best, not the worst. Comes out queen 6, rainbow board. So I check because if someone has a queen, I don't really want to bet into him at this point. That does not seem like a good poker play. That being said, I think betting with 5s here is fine sometimes, but there's 5 players. If there's like 3 players, I think it's a better move, but with 5, maybe better check. Anyway, action does check through, and the 5 of hearts comes on the turn. Bink, we now have a boat. I'm definitely betting now. Checks to me, I bet $25. Everyone folds except for the button player, who does not believe me. Maybe he has a flush draw, maybe he has a queen. I'm not really sure at this point. All I know is that I have a full house, and that is a good enough hand for me. River comes, and it's a 5 of diamonds. So we improved from a full house to quads, and yeah, I would say that's probably the best hand. I went from on the flop hoping he didn't have a queen to praying he had a queen, and now just really, really hoping he does. I bet $60. He immediately folded. Only a $100 pot, but hey, quads are quads, and it had to make the vlog. Deal with it. On to the next hand. All right, guys, this game does have a reverse button PLO, and it also has every dealer change PLO bomb pot. This happens to be just a PLO hand. It's $10 button straw. Look down and see ace, king, jack 10 with the ace suited in diamonds. So I make the call. Once again, this is PLO. We are still in Texas, even though we are not at the normal game I play. That being said, this will probably be the normal game I play moving forward. I do play other games, but I do like this place quite a bit. I like the people. I like the food. The only thing I don't like is the drive. It's a little bit far. So middle position, hijack, under the gun +1 call, gets around to the cutoff, and he decides to raise it up to $85. That does not deter the button player at all, because he's like, hey, yo, I got 85 in my back pocket. I got you. He makes the call, and I laugh in both their faces when I ship it all in for $229 without a single pair. That's right. That's how we do it here in Texas. No, but seriously, this is a great hand. It's a great hand in Omaha. I just hope I'm not up against aces, because that does make the size of my hand shrink up quite a bit. I wish that king was suited as well, like, king 10 of spades. That would be great. Unfortunately, it's not. Cutoff makes the call, and this is a good time as any to let all you guys know that, believe it or not, That's right. Only 26% of you guys are subscribed to the channel. So if you are new, please do me a favor. If you enjoy the content, you like what you're seeing, just go down below, click subscribe, join the family. It's absolutely free to do. It does not cost you a single penny, and it helps out the channel a ton. We're trying to get to 1,000. We're so close. We're actually so close. So everyone who does it, thank you very much. I appreciate you. Now let's go live audio for the rest of this hand because the cutoff does call.
You gentlemen want to do anything? Flop twice or?
I always go twice, but I'll let y'all call it.
Flop twice, cool with me.
Huh?
It'd be 229 for the side.
Don't, it don't matter in PLO, huh?
You ahead of me right now. I got no pair.
Come on, brother. You get stacked of these. Just ship the sherbet to Herbert. Got 18?
You're good right now, right?
Twice.
Flop twice.
Twice, okay.
There we go. Let's go. Let's get it. Oh no, Dave got there.
Malachi, when you get pushed, you go table 9 for me.
You got spades?
Damn.
Our players, we are trying to open a brand new 136
Ace 10
15 straddle kilo game on table number 9. For LS, Cam, Randy,
Flop a full wrap.
Ready,
No, it's not full
VT,
house.
anyone else that wants to play.
This is mine, side pot, huh?
Yeah.
Wait, no, they ain't. Oh, okay.
Nick, why
Hold
would
on,
you
hold
play
on.
that?
He
No,
gets,
no, no,
he
I
gets
got
a
it straight, I
quarter.
got it straight.
He gets a quarter,
Let's
bro.
fucking go.
Oh, you get quarter.
Damn,
He gets a quarter. You don't get
that
quarter.
shit, bro.
You do good.
What the fuck is wrong with me?
Don't chop the side.
I'm too drunk.
You gotta watch more YouTube.
Give me another shot.
You gotta watch more YouTube so you know your hand.
Fuck.
And
Good
then
shit.
for the
Good fucking hand. I didn't think you were that drunk. That's the only.
All right, guys, so we flopped a wrap on the other hand. No one had spades. We ended up hitting the bottom board, but so the other guy. So we ended up getting a quarter of that pot. Lost a little bit of money. Probably didn't have to gamble all that when I was only in for 10, but it is what it is. We're now on an Omaha bomb pot. I have ace, jack, jack 7 with the ace of hearts suited. Top board comes 3, jack, 8, 2 spades. Bottom board comes 3, 9, 6 with 2 spades. So we flop top set on the top board. Other than that, we don't really have much. And normally on Omaha hands, unless I'm feeling a little frisky or anything like that, I really don't play my top sets on one board with nothing else on the other board too hard. I like to just kind of call and see what develops on turns because Omaha is just one of those games where a lot of cards can get you in trouble. So when they bet $15, I decide that I am actually going to make this call. Never going to be folding for $15. There's 45 in there. The big blind makes the call. Then the under the gun player decides to tag along as well. And the middle position player comes along with him. Like as soon as under gun had their money out, middle position put his money out too. So $120 in the pot. Have top set on one board, and that's basically it. Turns come. Up top it's the 4 of clubs. Down below is the 7 of spades. So that flush does come in down below. Other than that, we still have the nuts up top. And this is where the hand gets a little weird. Gets a little strange. Because the big blind leads out for $50. So I guess he's trying to say he has a flush on bottom. That's really the only thing that changed here. That 4 of clubs changed nothing up top. So the only thing that changed was the spade flush came in on bottom. So I guess that's what he's saying he has. I don't really care because that's not the board I'm going for at all. I just hope a spade doesn't come on top and straights don't get there. So the cutoff goes all in, and I go all in for my remaining 110. He has more than me, so does the big blind. So I'm not going to keep up with the side pot because that has nothing to do with me, and that's just too much work. Sorry, guys. Don't know how much the actual pot's going to be. But after some hemming and hawing, the big blind does eventually decide to make the call. So there's $450 in the main pot. That's the pot I'm in. That's the pot I care about, and that's the pot I want to win. I doubt I'm scooping. Pretty sure I'm not going to be able to scoop. I am hoping to win at least half That's what I'm keeping my fingers crossed for. Don't want to see any spade up top or straight cards. Preferably board pairing would be the best, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. With that being said, if I do win half this pot, that's $225 coming my way, getting me one step closer to being even, because it has been a struggle tonight. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's been a rough night. I mean, I'm in for 300 and I haven't been even since my buy-in. You guys saw those first few hands, they were rough. And it's just been me fighting to get back to even ever since. But don't worry. We got some more hands, we got some more poker to play. Top board comes Queen of Diamonds, bottom comes Nine of Hearts. So we have a set of jacks up top. Luckily for us, no one has a straight up top. So we are good with the set of jacks. That 9-10 was faded. No one has it. The cutoff position player wins the bottom board, and the big blind player, unfortunately, does not win anything. So, yeah, getting half that pot, 225 coming my way, and one step closer to even. Let's move on to the next hand. Alright guys, well it was nice to win the bomb pot, but let's get back to hold'em, okay? I'm in the big blind, look down and see King 10 offsuit. Not a bad hand, not a great hand, it's just one of those hands, you know? It's one of those hands where you're like, meh, okay, I could see a flop if it's cheap enough, not a big deal. Not really a hand you want to put all your chips in the middle. It's a standard hand. Anyways, we get some callers, cutoff calls, gets around to the button decides to make the call, small blind ends up calling as well, and then action finally gets to me for $3 more. I'm not going to fold King 10 offsuit. I am not there just yet. Flop comes out and it is a pretty decent flop. King Jack 5, we do flop top pair. I am one of the first players to act, so I am going to check and see what these other players like to do. Problem with King 10 offsuit is someone can always flop a higher king than you. Someone could have King Queen, someone could have King Jack with 2 pair. I think Ace King's raising, but anyways, all in all, we probably had the best hand the majority of the time. So in hijack bets $10 and then gets the button player to call and the small blind player to call as well. I think this is a standard spot where I call. I'm also messing with my phone because I'm trying not to get people's faces in on the vlog because I am trying to be respectful of their privacy. New place, and it's kind of weird, you know? You roll up to a new place playing poker and you just whip out a camera and start recording. It's kind of weird. So all these guys were super cool, super chill with it, so I appreciate them. But yeah, just is what it is. I try and be respectful. 4 ways to this turn, which is a deuce of club. Action does end up checking through $65 in the middle. Not really a huge pot, but hey, you know, if we can take this down, it's a step in the right direction. 6 of diamonds, I figure, changes nothing at all. So when it checks to me, I bet $35. I think everyone is weak. I think my king is good, and I want to get some more value because 65 is not enough for me to even get gas with nowadays. So unfortunately, got to make some more money off you guys. Still stuck, still trying to get back even. Luckily, the button player is nice enough to count out some chips. Thinks about for a second, though. I think he may fold. I think he may call. I don't know. Please call. Please call. Eventually, he does end up putting his chips into the middle and making the call. Ha ha! Got you right where we want you, buddy. Now, it's 135 in the pot. He has a jack. I think that's a standard play with how the hand ran out. I let him know I have the king. So take it down 135. On to the next one. Alright guys, we are in the cutoff position in this one. Look down and see pocket threes. Pretty good starting hand. You know, the crabs. Under the gun, mid position call. I make the call as well. Button calls and the small blind player also calls. So we're going however many that is to the flop. It's actually a lot. Feels like more than it should be. I don't know. It's only a limp. Is what it is. Flop comes down, it's 3 deuce 4. That's right, we flop middle set once again. Feels good to flop these sets every now and then, you know? Just kind of feels good. $30 in the pot. Action does eventually check around to me. And yeah, I have to start building this pot. We're still stuck at this moment in time, and I got to get out the trap. So I bet $20. It's 2/3 pot. Button makes the call, and everyone else eventually does fold and relinquish their cards back to the dealer. So we have built this pot up to $70 whole, and the 7 of spades comes on the turn. Now, it may look like a scare card, but really all it does is bring in a backdoor flush. 5-6 was beating us on the flop anyway, so it doesn't really change anything. I guess if he has a set of 7s. So I bet 50. Button makes the call. We're actually building a pot here. It's up to 170, and like I feel like that's the biggest pot I've played all night. Queen of diamonds, which changes absolutely nothing, comes on the river, and now is time to extract max value. I bet 125. He snap calls, so I feel like I could have gotten paid more. Flip over my set of 3s. He says I'm good, throws his cards at the dealer, and we are taking down this $420 pot. Let's go. All right, guys, after grinding all night, it feels really good to have some profit. I'm not gonna lie to you. We've all had those nights where it's like you're just grinding and grinding and grinding. Eventually you get profit and it feels like you just made $1 million. That's how I feel right now. Anyways, I'm in the cutoff with Jack 10 offsuit. Hijack and myself both limp in. Big blind raises it up to 22. We thought I'd just raise it to 20. So we just put in the 20s out there. And then he's like, no, it's 2 more. So we have a little laugh about it. We're like, all right, $2 more, man. Come on, build your pot, build your pot. So we were all having a blast at the table. It was actually a whole lot of fun. Anyways, flop comes out 6 deuce jack with 2 hearts. Flop top pair, not too bad. I'll take top pair. I ain't mad at it. I'll tell you that much. And the big blind decides to lead out for $25 after the dealer let him know it was his action. Hijack makes a call, and I make the call as well. So we are still 3 ways going to the turn, which is the 6 of hearts. Not the best card in the world, because now any 6 beats us. Also, obviously, the front door flush comes in. But when the big blind bets, that's a tongue twister. Guys, it's like 6 in the morning. I've been up all night. Oh my goodness, I'm so tired. Anyways, when he bets $25 and then the hijack calls, I think it's too good of a price. $25 with 140 in there, yeah, I'm calling. 216 in the middle, and the river is the bink 6 of diamonds. So now, I don't care if anybody had a flush, and the likelihood of someone having a 6 is very low. So we have a full house, and that's a really good hand. This big blind player was stacking up a ton of chips, and then he checks. Once again, everyone at the table had a good laugh about it. Now it's on the hijack player, and at this point, I'm just waiting to see what he bets, because I really just want to smooth call him, because I want the big blind player in there too. He bets 50, and I think we're pretty much chopping. I think me and him are chopping. I think we each have a jack, and I'm praying that that big blind player puts in $50 so we can chop it up. This pot's $316. He reaches for some chips. Once again, stacks them up. You know that means he's folding. He's not gonna do anything. This is all just for TV time when he's not even on the TV. But once again, we're joking. We're having a good time. So it's all in good fun. We're all laughing. He knows the player in the hijack, so he's just joking around with him. Player in the hijack flips over his cards. He does not have a jack. He has quads. He has quad 6s. So we lose. I had cheese at one point. On to the next hand. Alright boys, this is the final hand of the night. And I gotta be honest, you know, I feel like I lost the minimum against quads. So not too angry about that. Those things happen. It does suck, but it is what it is. Look down, see pocket 8s. It gets raised up to $20. The cutoff and the button call. Big blind makes the call. Under the gun, I thought it called, so I'm putting out my call, and I realized he has not called yet, so I'd take it back. But then he calls and I call as well. So we've got a total of 6 players going to this flop, and the flop it's not bad. I'm gonna tell you that right now. It's not a bad flop. Comes out and it is 6-7-5 all hearts, so we flop an open-ended straight flush draw, and that's a pretty good flop. I check because the cutoff player has been pretty much action all night. You know, he's been betting and doing all these things, so I wanted to see what he did. He doesn't let me down. He bets $40. The button ends up making the call. The other players fold, and it gets back to me. There's $200 in this pot already. I have an open-ended straight flush draw. I block straights. I have a pretty strong hand. Unless I'm up against a flopped flush, then I'm liking where I'm at. So with this hand, I decide to semi-bluff. I raise it up to 125, and I just think that's a good number. Yeah, 200 in the middle, I make it 125. It does get the player who is raising light, or betting light, I should say, either the cutoff, and now we just have to fade the button. He does not snap call, so I feel like all my outs are good, even if he does call, but he does eventually decide to make the fold. I know, not the most exciting end of the night hand, but it is what it is. We take it down $200 without having to go to showdown, and I'll take that. Let's go to the outro to see how we ended up doing for the entire night. Hey, what's up, guys? So that last session was definitely a grind, up and down throughout the session, but actually was in for only 300, out for 600, so made 300 profit, and I'll take that. A win's a win. But this is a nice spot. I love Doghouse. Actually, since recording this outro, I've been there 2 more times. I have 2 more videos coming out about that same place. Probably gonna be my normal place I'm going to. I definitely enjoy the vibes. I enjoy the players. I enjoy having a good time up there. Next video coming out, we have our largest win at Doghouse. In the video after that, I get in the game for 900, and you're gonna have to stick around to see if I either get out of the trap or end up getting stuck. But that one's definitely a crazy one as well. So I hope you guys appreciate all this new content coming out. And if you have a poker room you want me to go check out, please let me know in the comments. I mean, I'm always down for a new game. But other than that, I appreciate the love and support. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you on the next one.